What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here, and as you can tell from my surroundings, this video is a little out of the ordinary. I'm currently in a hotel room and I'm on the road, so I'm doing a half update video, half response video. The update part, just 1 second. The response part is to a guy named Throttle Blip, who just recently released a video called Motorcycle Influencers Please Stop Doing This, as kind of a, this is what motorcycle influencers should stop doing, things they shouldn't do, with some input from the community. As for the update part of this, me and Shadetree are on the road on dueling silver wings right now, and a lot has happened so far. A lot of it being that I didn't expect that we were going to be here doing this right now. I guess I should expect some stuff like this to happen sometimes, but I really didn't expect this one, and Shadetree expected it even less. There's a whole story behind that, but we're actually took an early night tonight, so I'm getting this video, I'm filming it tonight for tomorrow while I'm still working on some other stuff. Incredibly difficult for me, at least, to edit on the road, especially after an entire like 10 to 14 hour day of riding motorcycles. Well, today we took a little bit of an early one because Shadetree did about 300 miles in 116 degree heat, which, if you've ever been in that kind of heat, that is no joke to do on a motorcycle, and it really took her for a loop, but she got through it, and I'm really proud of her. Expect lots and lots of videos coming on that. I've gone cross country a couple times now. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at motorcycle travel, but this is Shadetrie's very first time riding a 40-year-old motorcycle across the country without a safety net, unless you count me as a safety net, and I make a pretty terrible one. I usually encourage bad decisions, not fix them. Anyway, lots of videos coming on my channel, Shadetrie's channel. Keep an eye out for that. But on to Throttle Blip and him releasing this video telling motorcycle influencers what they shouldn't do. And I thought it was a really interesting video. I think Throttle Blip is a great guy. He makes a lot of review videos, kind of like deep dives on motorcycles that are getting released, speculation about new Harley-Davidson models. Yeah, they're good videos. He's got good, solid content. He seems like a really nice guy. He's got nice, big, strong arms. Just wanted to wrap me up in a hug and make me feel safe. You know what I mean? He's just, like I said, though, he seems like a nice guy. And this is nothing against him. I actually left a comment on the video. He pinned it to the top. He was really nice about it. So this isn't a let's crap on Throttle Blip kind of video, but I did want to respond to a lot of these things because even though he's a nice guy, I disagree on several counts that were made, not just by him, but by people who submitted kind of their own gripes about motorcycle YouTube to him. And just like he said in his video, I am not an expert. Not an expert on YouTube. I'm definitely not an expert on motorcycles, if anybody who has ever seen me try to work on can definitely attest to. I am a master of nothing here. These are just my opinions. But if there's one thing I have got, I am chock full, just full to bursting. It's opinions, baby. I got one for everything. So I'll probably roll in some of his clips here as well, but I'm just gonna kind of go through his video and make the response that I wanted to do. And I like making videos like this. If you guys, I made my YouTube channel in 2007, about probably 6 to 7 months after YouTube first started. So I've been making YouTube videos since YouTube very first started. And they used to do this thing called response videos, where you could do these response things in the comments. And it was so cool, and I liked it so much, and I felt like it really fostered a lot of community. Also started a lot of beef and a lot of drama and stuff like that. But anyway, that was always something I liked, so I'm enjoying doing this. And the first thing he brings up is the motorcycle influencer, and talks about how he doesn't like the word influencer, which is something I've seen a lot of. That's not just Throttle Blip that says he doesn't like the word influencer. I hear people talking all the time. They'll say, "Oh, you're an influencer." They kind of put this when they say it in like a weird way, like saying the word in a weird way makes it a bad thing. You're an influencer? I don't understand. It's a descriptive word. I wouldn't necessarily use it to describe myself, but I could. I would say an influencer, whether they be motorcycle or makeup or any other number of things that are on YouTube, other goods and services. I assume you're usually talking about somebody who's trying to sell something. So an influencer would influence somebody to buy something. So if you have achieved a bit of notoriety, a bit of celebrity, Maybe just you have this aura of expertise around you. You have something. You have people's attention. You are up on a little bit of a podium. You're standing on a table. So when you speak with a louder voice than the average person does. So when you speak positively about something, you are influencing them to like that as well. Because they like your videos, they like your movies, they like whatever. What weirds me out about this is that people say like it's a bad thing, but for me, it's not weird at all because this is something that's been going on literally forever. The last time I checked, my local car dealership doesn't hire Stabby McSyphilis, the frickin' vagrant on the side of the road, to stand out there and tell everybody that they should buy a brand new Kia. You know, they don't get him. Why would they get him? No, they get like a football player. You know, they want a football player. They want a baseball player because a lot of people know who that is. I feel like when I'm explaining this, I just, and this is again, nothing bad to anybody, but I feel like I'm explaining it like, what, is this a secret or something? Do people not know how like hiring somebody who has any sort of celebrity status works in marketing? I don't want to explain it if everybody knows, but again, celebrities all the time, they sell everything from toilet paper to cars to pens to liquor to, walk through an airport and see how many celebrities are plastered over perfume products and life insurance and everything in between. That's why I don't understand when someone's like, oh, I don't like the word influencer. Well, I'm like, well, what do you want? Would you like to use a different word? What word do you want it to be? Do you want it to be celebrity? Do you want it to be expert? Like, what do you want the word to be, if not influencer? I think influencer is fine because it's a very descriptive word. You are influencing people to like something, to buy something, to embrace a concept, to embrace a way of life by speaking to them from a position of authority or status or expertise. Influencer is a pretty good word. It's a very descriptive word that works very well. Now, if you have a personal problem with it because it gets bandied about a lot as like an insult to describe people who have somehow achieved celebrity for nothing and now are cashing in on it to tell people to buy something and they didn't earn any of it, they're not an expert, well, that's like a personal problem. Like, I don't know what to tell you on that one, man. It's a descriptive word, and you should stop hating a word just because of the connotations. Like, I really feel strongly about that because I love words. You know, I graduated early in the 10th grade. School was never for me, but I love to read. I love the English language. I love words. I like using $5 words all the time of just like superfluous words, flowery words, ethereal words. There's something for everything. And guess what? Influencer is a very descriptive word that fits the bill and describes the people that we're talking about. So, and I know now I've ranted about it forever. It probably seems like I hate everybody who has a problem with the word influencer. You can have a problem with it. That's fine. I just really don't understand why. I also think that there's a lot of people who, as I describe what influencer means, use the word influencer as this catch-all word to mean anybody who participates in social media. So if you participate in social media, you are an influencer. And while it certainly could be the case, it's certainly not the case when it comes to always selling something. I would say that I'm always trying to influence people to ride motorcycles because I love riding motorcycles. I want them to continue for generations to come, and one more of us, one less of them. I like making new motorcyclists. That doesn't mean I'm trying to sell you something in every episode, unless you want to buy one of my t-shirts. That's great. I'm not even wearing one though. I guess I'm a bad influencer. But I do know that I do influence people to travel more, to ride motorcycles more, to buy cheap motorcycles and take dumb risks. I like to influence people to do that. But am I an influencer? Am I? I guess I am. Of course I am. If you've ever influenced someone to do anything, guess what? You're an influencer too. The next point that Throttle Blip makes on there is one I absolutely agree with. 100% agree with him. In fact, I agreed with him on a lot of the stuff he said. Like I said, he seems like a nice guy and I want a nice warm hug from him. Squeeze me real tight. I like to feel safe. Anyway, another hunk alert. I digress. He says, stop accepting product just to accept product. I agree, but I agree for different reasons, I guess. Part of what he talked about was more along the lines of you're watering down your brand, you're making people not care about what you have to say if you're just doing a video on something by accepting a product. That's true. He's right. You are. It didn't necessarily resonate with me because even though over the years, of course, I've taken a couple free things that I've wanted, very, very few, almost none. And I haven't because one, they don't interest me. Two, I don't want to have to say anything about them because I'm not a reviewer. I suck at making those kinds of videos. Those kinds of videos are not fun for me to make. So when he gives the advice like, hey, this is gonna water down your brand, that's kind of weird to me because I'm like, well, is this video specifically for people who are just trying to be in the arena of selling something? Is this advice just for somebody who is saying, I'm building a YouTube channel with the specific only intent to figure out how to leverage my celebrity, so-called celebrity, whatever it is, online to get someone to buy something? Like, if that's the playbook, that's fine. My advice would just be different from his. I would say, don't accept it because why would you want to make that video? I mean, if it's something you really, really want, you're just like desperate to have it, then they want to give you for free and you're allowed to say whatever you want about it. Like, why? I would take it. Why not? Why wouldn't you? You know, but if it's just like something ridiculous, yeah, don't do it. Because that's not a fun video to make. It's a crappy video to make. Why you're gonna make like a review about something that you don't care about? I don't know. To me, that sounds like the opposite of having fun. And I've always made videos because I make videos that make me happy, and I make videos that are fun and make me feel joy and happiness, and they just make me feel like a lit match head. I wanna do something that excites me, that just sets my skin on fire. And you know, reviewing like special padded underwear doesn't exactly set me on fire. That's not what I want to do, man. And if you want to do this, I feel like some people accept the products and they want to take the products in because they feel like it lends them an air of legitimacy. So I'll take this product in even though it's not something I'd use and it's not something I'd want, but I'll do the review because now I feel like a real reviewer, a real YouTuber. Well, I don't know, man. I don't do reviews. I don't do reviews. Like, that's not my thing at all. Like, I've done a couple, but you know, I've released 2 videos a week for the past decade. When I say a couple, I mean like a couple, and we're talking about like a lot of content here. So it's not, and it's never been something I really enjoy doing. Like, I've only ever done it when the mood absolutely strikes me. The other thing that I felt like he should have brought up, and again, no shade, I'm not casting any hate, nothing like that, but I feel like it's very important to understand why these companies do that. If anybody is familiar with the term called price dumping, it's something that it's not exclusive to the Japanese, but it's something that the Japanese very famously did in the 60s, 70s, and 80s to American companies. And it was basically, back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, there was dozens of American TV companies. There's a bunch of other companies too, mainly small electronics. Japan in the 70s was kind of where China is right now, where they're just like a big manufacturer of small electronics that were basically kind of knockoffs, but almost as good as the one manufactured in a different plant and that was way more expensive. But what Japan did is that they sold these things at such a loss in America with the specific purpose of trying to put their competitors out of business. So they would sell these things at a drastic loss, price dumping. And then once their competitor was out of business, then they would raise the prices to be profitable. They made that illegal, so you can't do that anymore. But there's still a lot of ways that companies do stuff like this. And, you know, sending out free product is one of them. So you've got a company that's making a very cheap product that wants to get it in as many people's hands as possible. So they will send out these mass emails just asking people to review it. Send it out. They don't care if you do the review. They'll send it out to you. You think they're gonna like, what? You think that they always have some name like, oh yeah, it's freaking Buck McAmerican Man is sending you the email from Zhang Shao freaking Electronics to do a review. Like, no, it's not. They just, these mass emails that they're trying to get people, they just jettison this product like so much flotsam into America and other countries, trying to get a bunch of people to buy it, put some of their competitors out of business, namely usually other Chinese competitors, because there's a million different people all making the same thing, and they're all made in like factories across the street from each other. It's just bad business practices because they're just trying to flood a market with a cheap product to like snag enough people on hype to get something out there. And I think that that's a really bad way to do business. I think you should make a good product, something you stand behind, something you believe in. And if you are going to, and you know, Throttle Blip said this in the video. So if you are going to do a review, make sure it's on something that you enjoy, that you know is made well, that you know is made with care. And if you're going to endorse something, endorse that. And if you do accept something, accept it with no terms, you know, and that's really all I can say about that. I just feel like you should really bring up that this is a really bad business practice and it puts legitimate companies out of business. This is something that really hurts companies who spend a lot of time and care into making their product, and it just puts them out of business. Bad business. Don't do that. Don't be a part of that machine. So the next one he talked about, which was user submitted. So he asked Instagram for a bunch of people to submit their biggest complaints about motorcycle YouTube. Anyway, it was and even though he didn't say this, he did completely agree with it. So I'm still going to be talking directly to Throttle Blip here, not the person who made the comment, Joe. But he said the big problem with people who make content just to make content. And this is the only one where, out of everything that kind of went on here, where I would really, really just like strongly disagree. I really disagree. I think that that's like, why would you not make content just to make content? I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? We're making videos. Like, I like making videos, man. Why would I not make a video just to make a video? That's something I'm just baffled by. What would you like? Not Shay was mad. So Shay Lisi actually saw this video before me, and she was just like flying off the handle on this one. And I gotta admit, Throttle Blip, I agree with her on this one. Making content just to make content, and he goes on to say, and no, this is not hate. Guess what? Here's a novel concept. You can disagree with something, and you can even strongly disagree with somebody, and you can still like them, okay? Just because I disagree with somebody doesn't mean I don't like them. It doesn't mean I think he sucks. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying strongly disagree. Make the content just to make the content. He kind of goes on to say that he watches a lot of YouTube and he watches a lot of videos just to see what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. And so maybe I'm disagreeing with him because he's approaching this in a different way than me. If Throttle Blip is just trying to make a business out of making YouTube videos, maybe that's good advice. You know, maybe if what you're trying to do is build a business, making reviews and speculation on models and build series. Maybe if you're trying to build a business plan around making YouTube videos that is just like that, just that. Maybe that, even then, it doesn't really sound like good advice to me. I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, don't make content just to make content. Would you tell someone, like, don't draw just to draw? Like, no, dude, draw your picture. Draw it just to draw. Like, why else would you do it, man? Would you only do it for money? Would you only do it if you felt you had something of value, some kind of je ne sais quoi to it, to add to the thought stream of the world? Like, I'm not gonna draw anything unless it means something. Fuck that noise, dude. Draw your doodles, draw tits, draw dicks, spray paint on stuff. It's fun, man. Make the content just to make the content. Would you not play music just to hear the sound? Would you not play your guitar just because you wanted to hear it make a noise? Would it only be to play for money? Would it only be to record an album? Would it only be if you were so beautifully moved to change the world with a single strum? That's the only reason you'll pick up. You're like, get out of here with that high horse freaking, like, just absolute garbage moral gatekeeping crap. And I'm sorry, like, that's what it strikes me as. It's moral gatekeeping. Like, my content is better than your content because I only make it when it means something. Guess what? Nothing means anything, man. We're all gonna end up back in the mud at the end anyway. We're all worm food. You only YOLO once, baby. You know what? If you wanna make the video just because you wanna make the video, make the damn video. I make 2 videos a week because I wanna make them, because I do exciting things. Like, I have so much fun making videos. I wanted to be a director when I was a kid. I'm not comparing myself to a director. I'm just a shit talker and I barely know how to edit, but I love making videos. I don't need another reason. I'm having fun. I'm making the content just to make the content. I am that person. The only reason I make content is just to make the content, because I have fun doing it. It's gonna seem like I don't hate him. I'd love to meet him. We should have this conversation over a live stream or something. I would love to do that. But because it just, like, when I'm saying it to the camera and I don't want the audience to be like, man, fuck this guy. That's not what I'm saying at all. These are my opinions, those are his opinions, and guess what? You can have different opinions than someone and not dislike them. And in some ways, it's a valid opinion. But I only really think it's a valid opinion if you're only speaking to somebody who's trying to build a business out of their channel. And I'm like, if that's why you're starting in the first place, fine. Actually, you know, I'm not gonna judge you if that's how you're starting, but I'm not the person to give you advice if that's what you're trying to do. Now, if you want to have fun and you want to enjoy making the videos you make and you want to do new and exciting things that you otherwise would have never done unless you get the idea to pick up a camera and do it, then I'm your guy, because that's what I do. And that doesn't make my videos better than anybody else's. Guess what? I watch review videos too. I watch stat videos. I watch all sorts of videos like you wouldn't believe that are on a million different subjects. I'm not saying why I make videos or how I make videos is any better than anybody else's reason for making videos. All I'm saying is be very careful when you play that you should only make videos, moral, high ground, gatekeeping thing, because you can so very easily end up on the other side of it. You know, it's just like, it's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? You know, and from somebody else's perspective, like if that's the only reason you make videos, well, you're the bad guy in their eyes. So I don't know, man. I think it's just, that's way more gray than it was kind of put off in the video, and strongly disagree.
Making content just so you can put something out. And guys, if you're a YouTuber, I get it. The less content, the less money. I'm in that same boat. I completely agree, and that's the number.
So as I'm making this video, because like I said, we're on the road, I'm just in a hotel room right now, I'm like watching his video back and forth. I think I kind of missed something that he was talking about when he says making content just to make content. And he said that, like, if I don't have a good idea to make content, I won't make a video. Sure, if you don't have an idea for something you want to make and that you're going to have fun making, don't make the video. And this is, again, it's going to sound like I'm sucking my own dick here, like, can't wait to remove some ribs and just slob on my own. Ooh, Shadetree surgeon, he's the best. Like, it sounds like I'm doing that. Maybe I'm a little. Anyway, I'm just saying. So he said, if I don't have a good idea, I won't make a video. So if I don't have a good idea for weeks, I won't make a video. And I again, at the risk of sounding big-headed, I have so many ideas for videos. I have more ideas for videos than there are hours in a day. If I had unlimited amount of time to film videos, like if I could exist in a temporal disturbance, is that a delicious Japanese fried disturbance, or is that a rift in space and time? One may never know, but hopefully they do have snacks there. If I could exist in a tempura aberration in this timeless world where I could just make all the videos that I have ideas for, there would not be enough hours in the day for everybody to watch them. I have more ideas than my body has room for. I am veritably just ejaculating ideas every day. I want to make so many things. I will die wanting one more. I just want to make, and because it's fun for me. I like it. I've got a million ideas, and I don't have time to make them all. So I can't ever imagine not putting out a video on my allotted time slots that I do videos, because I have more ideas and more stuff to put out. I have videos that I've never released because they're not out yet. I don't have time to do them. So the only reason when I don't release a video is because life got in the way and prevented me from making the video, which does happen. So maybe that's the difference. And again, now me get off my soapbox, remove my own penis from my mouth, and get on to the next one. The next one, which again was user submitted, was kind of, I didn't understand exactly what was going on with this point of the video, mainly because it started out with don't do personal stuff, but then also don't do clickbait. And it kind of went from one to the other. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be about. Was it supposed to be about clickbait, or was it supposed to be about don't do personal stuff? With the personal stuff, that's with him, because I speak candidly on this channel. Sometimes it feels almost a little bit like therapy to me to be able to speak candidly about the things that are going on in my life. I've Shay Lisi, my niece, who has been literally editing her video in the next room, has spoken very openly about her struggles with depression. She's spoken openly about her brain tumor, which was very close to making her go blind for a while. She still has it, still in there, just like doing tumor things. So when he said don't do personal things, I'm like, okay, don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna share whatever I want on my channel, and I think other people should too. So if someone this video is kind of like, hey, don't do this, but I would be like, disagree, because I like personal stuff. Like when I'm watching somebody's channel and I see a video about personal stuff up, I'm way more likely to click because I want to know what's going on. My very good friend, 9 Mills on 2 Wheels, Matt, I see him every year at the Weirdo Campout. Great friend of mine. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll have it linked down below. Has been documenting his battle with cancer. It doesn't get much more personal than that. And of course I got a vested interest. I've watched Matt's channel for years, and he got cancer, and he's fighting it, and he rides his motorcycle to his treatments, and he's a great freaking guy. Don't tell him not to share his personal stuff. Why wouldn't he? There's people who really care about him. They want to know what's going on. That was a weird one to me. So if you don't like watching personal stuff and you just want to watch somebody just robotically list the stats of a motorcycle, go ahead, man. That's not the way that my biker family is. We want to know what's going on in each other's lives. I can read the stats off the back of the cereal box. Thank you very much. I don't need you to tell me what they are. Tell me something about yourself, man. This is way more interesting. I know what a motorcycle is. And again, that's just me. But then I don't know if it was about that, because then it immediately went into don't do clickbait. Is kind of where it went. It's don't do personal stuff, but then don't do clickbait either. So the clickbait thing, I've even got more opinions on it. Like I said, dude, opinions are like assholes, and I'm an asshole. I got an opinion for every occasion. Just watch me. Here's the thing about clickbait, or we could also just call it a good title. So people don't like it, and here's the thing. It's turtles all the way down. When someone says you're allowed to do this, but you're not allowed to do that, or you can do this, or you can't do that, like I said, somebody's always got a bigger dick. Somebody always has more rules. Either it's okay or it's not. Now, YouTube has some misguiding practices, terms of service in. I'm not talking about those, but either making the thumbnail and title is okay or it's not. Is someone gonna be the police of what you're allowed to say in a title or not? For me, it doesn't matter, because the proof is in the pudding. If a title works, and it gets people into the video, and then they really enjoy the video, if they had a great time watching it and they left going damn, that was a good video, what's the problem? Now, if you have a clickbait title that's just very over the top, outrageous, oh my god, death-defying action, and then your video sucks, well, the market will sort itself out, won't it? People are gonna click out of your video, they're not gonna watch, they're gonna complain about it. You made a crappy video with a good poster. I just don't understand hating a video that you would have otherwise liked because it had a bad thumbnail. In a perfect world where it didn't matter and human beings didn't like shiny things in front of them to pick from, in a perfect world, I would just make every video Shadetree episode, whatever we're on, 726. And just a white screen with that, and everyone would just click on it. But that's not how it works. And I really like my videos. I like making them. I enjoy the process of making them. I like the people I make them with, and I want people to watch them. I want other people to enjoy them too. So why would I shoot myself in the foot? Why would I deliberately do something to stop people from watching my videos? To make the most boring, just uber descriptive of exactly what happened with no flair or panache. I don't understand that. And even then Throttle Blip goes on to say hey, yeah, I spice my titles and thumbnails up a little bit. Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's turtles all the way down, man. There's always someone else who's gonna look at you and go well, you're clickbait. And then there's someone above him that's gonna go well, you're wrong, you're clickbait. And there's someone below you that you're gonna go, you're clickbait. And it's just a snake eating its own tail, man. It's just a bad argument to have. And also, if you liked the video, you liked the video. The thumbnail wasn't the problem. The thumbnail got you to click on it and you watched a video you didn't like. So speak on the content, not the title. If the content sucks, the content sucks. If the content's good, the content's good. Can you imagine going to a movie and you loved everything about the movie and really enjoyed it. You laughed, you cried, you felt emotions, terror, anxiety, all the things that a good movie should make you. Maybe not, I don't know if all those things at once sound pretty stressful, but that's it. This is just Oscar-winning, life-changing movie. But you didn't like the movie poster. Like, but wait a second, the movie poster, didn't like it. There's something in the movie poster that wasn't in the movie, so 2 thumbs down. That movie sucks. Like, what? That's just the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I can't wrap my head around it. But then I can only say that just this sometimes, and not necessarily Throttle, Blip, or anybody else, but this moral posturing on what constitutes a clickbait title just seems like a dick measuring competition to see who is the best, who's the most pure. And like, come on, man. How about instead of focusing on that, just make a good video? If you just make a good video, it's not a problem. And I will just go a further step to defend myself here and my thumbnails, which, yeah, I use ridiculous looking thumbnails all the freaking time because I want people to watch my videos. That's why. My average video is anywhere from like 27 to 34 minutes long and takes course over multiple days. I don't like making short videos. I like long videos. I like videos that are like 35 to 45 minutes long. I make the videos that I like to watch. I like watching videos like that. I don't want just one thing to happen. See, now I'm breaking my rule. This video is just one thing. And I used to make videos like that all the time. I would make videos about just one thing. They're very easy to make a title for because only one thing happened. I just sat down and I talked about this topic. And sometimes I'll still make a video like that, but I much prefer to make videos where 10 things happen because I get to do so many exciting things and I really like doing that. So what do? I title a video like I woke up, I ate breakfast, I rode my motorcycle to the Harley store, I test rode a motorcycle, I ran into a friend I hadn't seen in a while, and then I went to the bar and I drank till I passed out. Then I woke up the next day and I was really angry about something, and then I had to mow how would you even title that video? No, I just like pick out a moment in the video that I think maybe encapsulates the entire theme of the video maybe. And I just make that the thumbnail and I make it bodacious and I try to make it clickable and I make a face. So someone clicks on it, like, why wouldn't I? I want people to watch the video. I really don't understand this one. The whole like clickbait morality battle to me is just the content. Focus on the content. Make the videos. Make videos you like to make. Don't worry about the picture on the front. You got to put a shiny picture on the front or nobody's going to watch your video. And then no one will even know if it was good. How is anyone going to know if it's good if nobody watches it because you just put a blank white screen that says video number 1? You're Schrodinger's video at this point. If a tree falls in the woods and someone wasn't there to say, she left me, does anybody know what happened? Like, no, man. Come on, dude. Just make a good video. Put whatever thumbnail you got to put on there to make someone click on it. And if you follow it up with good content, then they'll love you for it. And if you don't follow it up with good content, then people are not going to like you. I think some of the problem, and not Throttle Blip, but I think with some other people that I've seen talk about this, is they get mad at some larger creators who use what they would call clickbait thumbnails. And it's like, dude, just how's anyone gonna make it? Then let the people decide. But I think some of those people can't decide to do that because once you use a clickbaity thumbnail, you open yourself up to a lot of scrutiny. People will look at your video and they will judge it more harshly. So if you aren't ready for that judgment, if you aren't ready to stand behind the video you make, if you aren't ready to just stand there and go like, yep, that was me, motherfucker. I made that video and I like it. And if you don't like it because of the thumbnail, guess what? You can suck left hind tit, all right? Get the hell out of my face and don't watch my free videos. That's what you do, man. Make the clickbait thumbnail and let the audience be the judge of whether it's good or not. Or just languish out there in your dignity. Retain your dignity and languish without anything. I don't know what to tell you, man. And again, I'm describing a very few certain people here. I'm not describing Throttle Blip. I don't think he's like that. He does spice up in his words, he spices up his thumbnails and his titles. Of course, someone else would call it clickbait. I wouldn't call it clickbait. I just call it a title and a thumbnail. Same as I do mine, but somebody else would call it clickbait, but they would. And they're over there and they will languish with their dignity as their only blanket to keep them warm. Have fun with that. I don't know what to tell you, man. The next one was, again, user submitted, and I disagree with it. I don't strongly disagree with it, but I do disagree. So it just was something like along the lines of, don't compare a Harley Davidson to a sport bike because they do different things. It's just bad. And of course, Throttle Blip agrees, and I agree with him. It's bad reviewing. That's if you're not going to give context, you're a bad reviewer. But what kind of reviews do you want to watch? So when it comes to me, my favorite review channel of all times is Regular Cars. And a lot of people could probably been watching Regular Cars since he did his Miata video. Like literally from the first few videos I've been watching. Like I love him. And a lot of people would have looked at my channel over the years and been like, man, you're ripping off Regular Cars. And I've certainly heavily borrowed a few things that he does. Anyway, what Regular Cars does isn't really a review. What he does is he usually he'll list stats, of course, but he writes an essay, usually from the heart, describing what the car was to the world. It's not necessarily how good the car was or what it could do or 0 to 60 times or how it compared to other cars. It's just, how did this car occupy space and time? What foibles brought it into existence? What did it mean to the person who owned it? And it's just like these deep philosophical arguments and questions about a car, and sometimes motorcycles as well, that he does on his channel. And it's just these great literary jaunts, and he's such a great writer, and he's such a master of the English language that I love to watch him do it. Now, if you're looking for a review on a car, he's not your guy. he's writing poetry about the cars. So if you want to be a good solid reviewer who makes accessible content that is merely meant to give an honest review on a bike, personally I find that so fucking boring I would die. I could never make that type of video. We'll talk about a bike, I talk about how it makes me feel. You know, I don't give a shit how much horsepower it makes. I've ridden 50 horsepower bikes that feel faster than 150 horsepower bike. They're not, but they feel faster just because they do something to me. They move me. They move me emotionally, but I'm an awful emotional boy. I got more emotions than my body has room for, and right now they're jockeying with all my opinions. So that's just me, though. I just like doing this is a good review, and this is what the review should be. Like, if that's what you want to do, that is great advice. Throttle Blip is absolutely right. You have to give context to all of your review points. You have to do it right. You can't just like spurt off your opinions. You can just ejaculate your opinions onto the world and just have them taken as fact. You have to back it up. Now, I will ejaculate wherever I would please, wherever I like. Nobody tells me where I can't do it, okay? I'm gonna do it everywhere, and I'm going to continue to do that because these are just my opinions, and I'm speaking from the heart, and I talk about how these things make me feel, not about how they stack up mathematically against something else, or why it's good or why it isn't. These are very strictly my opinions. And the reviews that I like to watch are by people who do stuff like that. That's what I like to see, because I care more about for lack of a better word, I care way more about the soul of a motorcycle than I do about the actual sum of its parts. The next one was also just like, I'm so sweaty in the hotel room. I turned off the AC because I was like, I don't have a mic for my camera. I'm not very professional. I don't have a mic or anything like that in this big echoey hotel room, and I turned off the AC because it was making noise. And now I'm so sweaty because I've got so many opinions that are just fighting to get out, and now I'm sweaty from it. Anyway, the next one was about don't put the camera in your face when you're reviewing something. It was something like that. Like the user submitted one was like, I can't stand it when somebody puts the camera in their face instead of on the object. And Throttle Blip agreed. He actually said that he was lucky because he didn't have a camera crew. Well, at the risk of like sounding like an asshole, and I'm really not trying to, I'm just like, when does your camera crew arrive? Like, is there like I'm still waiting, dude. I think we're at like 230 some thousand subscribers now. Like, my camera crew still hasn't shown up. I have a tripod. So like, I don't know. It's just a weird one to me. Like, why wouldn't you be in the video? It's your video, man. Like, when someone goes like, you don't be in the video. Like, that would be going like, I would be like, okay, let's make the video on Throttle Blip, but I'm not going to be in the video.
Hey,
I played it. I'm just gonna talk from back here, and you're not gonna see my face. You're only gonna see this. I'm gonna do the whole video talking about Throttle Blip. No, that's not how you do it, man. I'm the one making the video. Of course I'm going to put my face in it. I think it's my main thing, and I like Throttle Blip, and he made a lot of great points in the video, but most of the stuff I'm talking about, it's not like I'm just like, oh, I hate you, I disagree with you. I just don't get it. Like, why wouldn't you put your face in the video? Put your face in the video. Like, when I watch somebody review something, or I watch them talk about something, like, if it's nameless and faceless, I would forget it the second I watched it. Like, let's say if you were talking about a new exhaust for a Sportster, and I was interested in this exhaust, and you never pointed the camera at yourself, and you just are like, this is the exhaust, this is how much it costs, this is the sound it makes, boom, this is how shiny it is, this is how hard it is to put on, subscribe. Like, no, I'm not subscribing, dude, are you kidding me? I'm gonna forget about you the second that video's over. I'll remember the exhaust, so like, good job. I remember the exhaust. As far as you in the video, I will never remember you. No one's gonna remember your face unless you show your face. So here's the thing. If you're gonna review something, I wanna see a person review it. I wanna know what this person thinks. Again, my favorite reviewers have big opinions. They have big personalities. And I'm watching them as a personality because I wanna know what they think of the product. Because everything's subjective, man. You know, we're talking about stuff here that needs a personal opinion. Like, let's say you take 3 exhausts that all make the same horsepower, but they all make a different sound and they all look different. So same price, same horsepower, all 3 look different, all 3 make a different sound. How do you review that? How do you say one sound is better than another sound? How do you say one looks better than the other? We're entering opinion territory here, and motorcycles are by their very nature creatures of opinion. Most motorcycles compared to cars are just like incredibly unfinished, incredibly raw. They have quirks and problems and weirdness to them that would never be acceptable in the automotive world. But in the motorcycle world, it is, because motorcycles got soul, baby. You know, they got a beat. You can dance to it. You know, they're more than the sum of their parts. Opinions are needed. And so you take that and you go like, so how would you make a video about that? You would have to include your face, you would have to include your opinions, you would have to say what you thought about it, because otherwise, where's the review, man? you're just being like, there's nothing to do. So again, it's not like I'm mad or I'm like, oh, you're so dumb for thinking this. I just like, help me understand, because I don't understand the point you're making. And I'm not trying to not understand to take away from it. That's something people do. I don't like that. I don't understand why people do this. Like, motherfucker, you know why people do that. Like the clickbait thing. I don't, and this wasn't him, but I don't understand why people make clickbait. Motherfucker, you know why they do it. Don't say you don't understand it, because you're just like saying it's so beneath you. This is so beneath your ken that you can't even lower your gigantic brain to understand it. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I genuinely don't understand it. Like, put your face in it. Give me your opinion. It's a review. If it was just math, you would just feed the numbers into a machine and it would be like, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. This is the best exhaust. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. This is the best motorcycle. Just let the machine decide. Like, I'm watching YouTube because I want people's reviews. I want people's opinion. So yeah, if you're going to give it a review and it's going to be a review I care about, I would like to get to know you. Otherwise, I don't care. As I get sweatier and sweatier for the sake of my art, my sound, which is going to be so echoey because I don't even have a microphone. Anyway, the last point on Throttle Blip's video was, again, on clickbait. And just people saying like, oh, I quit, or this or that. Well, stop watching the video. You know why clickbait works? Because people watch the videos. So, your best thing to do about dealing with a video title you don't like is to not watch the video. But if it's a video you're going to enjoy, then you are denying yourself a very enjoyable piece of content for a very dumb reason. So that's where we're at on that one. If you're not watching it only because of the thumbnail, then you are hurting somebody and hurting yourself for a very, very, very dumb reason. That's the solution. You don't like it, don't watch it. You know, the reason why clickbait works is because people click on it. So that's it. Use your voice. You have a vote. You don't have to watch the content. Yeah, I hate this content. Well, my gosh, who's holding a gun to your head? Don't watch it. I don't know. I never get that. Like, I hate this. Don't watch it. There's so many actions that led you here. You had to sit down, you had to open your computer, you had to type in youtube.com to the browser, you had to make all these decisions from all these little thumbnails, and you had to pick that. There's so many decisions that you did, the viewer, to get to that point. Don't be mad at a person because they made a crappy video. I guess you could be mad at them if they use a really crappy thumbnail, like really clickbaity, and then the video really sucks. Like, yeah, you should probably leave a comment being like, you suck. That's fair, you should. But just don't watch again. Like, block them, be like, I don't want to see these videos anymore. Like, you can vote with that, you know. But anyway, so that's about where it wraps up. And again, it sounds like I just disagreed with everything that Throttle Blip said, and I want to kind of bring this around and say that, yeah, while yes, I did disagree with him on several points, I think really what was happening is we make different videos, and so I think that maybe he was speaking to an audience who is really looking to build a career making videos on reviews and motorcycles and product reviews and how-tos and stuff like that. That's what it feels like to me. And whereas I have like no interest in that whatsoever, that doesn't mean it's not good, because I watch videos like that. People should make videos like that. If you want to make videos where you review stuff and you're a really good reviewer and you're a great writer, we can write your good review and everything is subjective and you do a great job and you got good camera work and you're doing your thing, like, go ahead, do it. Like, you should do those, because I do watch those videos sometimes. I just have no interest in making those videos. And if someone is coming to me for advice on what makes a good YouTube video, you're not going to hear me talk about any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to be the guy that's going to tell you, like, yeah, make the clickbait thumbnail. Like, we in our Discord chat, we have a section in there that is channel support, and I help people with their thumbnails all the time. So we have a lot of creators in there, and I help them with their thumbnails. And guess what? Almost every single person that I've helped with their thumbnails has achieved a lot of success with it. So, and that doesn't mean they're all just like, I died and then lightning came out of my butt. You know, they're not like that. They're descriptive thumbnails that do a good job encapsulating the feeling of the video while also being bombastic enough to be picked in a sea of thumbnails. So I'm not going to give you good advice on how to make review videos, because that's not what I do. I make videos that make me happy. That doesn't mean review videos can't make you happy. Maybe they make you happy, that's fine. I only film the video that I want to do. I've never made, at least not in a very, 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 very long time, I've never made a piece of content that I wasn't just like excited as hell to make. Of course, I've made ones about, you know, deaths in the family, deaths of friends, bad stuff. Like, obviously I'm not excited to make those, but like, I don't have to explain every little thing. I'm just saying, I genuinely am excited to make the videos I like. And if you're asking me, and you're asking me for my advice on what makes a good YouTube video, because I think we should, the whole like motorcycle YouTube videos and regular, are you a video creator or not? Like, I like making videos. I don't necessarily, I make videos sometimes about fishing. I've made videos about bowling. I've made videos about woodworking. I'm not a very good woodworker. So it's really more of a comedy video than anything else. Like, I make a video about it. Yeah, I'm not going to make a video about motorcycles. I just happen to really, 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 really like motorcycles. So most of my content is motorcycle focused, because I just am consumed by motorcycles in my every waking moment. I don't agree with that. Like, you should make the video that makes you happy. And if that includes motorcycles, go ahead. In some of my fishing videos, I would ride a motorcycle to go fishing because I wanted to ride the bike. And I filmed that because that was part of what I was doing. And I was excited to do it. Now, that's the secret in my mind to YouTube, is make the video that you want to make. Make the video that makes you happy. Make the video that you want to watch. That's all I've ever done. And I think that's the secret to it. And this was in the comment that I left on Throttle Blips. And this is not against Throttle Blip. Like I said, I think at the end of this, we're wrapping around. I think that him and I are talking to a different audience. Obviously there's overlap, but I think we're giving advice to two different columns here. If you make the video you want to see, you're never going to have a bad time. Like, I love the audience. I love for them to watch. But what they want, what you guys want to see, and I hate to say this, is not the highest on my list of priority. It's on there. It's on the list, but it's not number one. Like, what you guys want to see is many and varied and different. And if I only did what my comments asked for, I would be pulled in a million different directions, and I would never get to do what I I actually want to do. And if I didn't have fun making these videos, I would probably make pretty crappy videos. So even if I tried to please the people who are asking for certain things, I think at the end of the day, no one's gonna be happy with the videos because I'm gonna be making videos I don't care about. I'm gonna be making videos I don't wanna make. And I'm sorry, I'm only gonna make videos that I want to make, that I have fun making. And I think if you are into making videos, if you want to make videos, if you were a kid and you're going, God damn, dude, I just want to be a director, and I love movies, and I love filming stuff, and I love documenting things, and I want to watch it back later with my friends and go, look at that, you remember that? You remember that? That was so cool. Like, that's where I came from. That's how I started making videos. And if that describes you, then don't ask your audience what they want to see. Don't ask them what they want to see. Make the video that you want. And if you make a heartfelt video that is good and fun and you love it, and you look at that video and you're like, I love this thing. Here you go, world. Here is this thing that I love, and I want you to be able to love it too. Then people will love it, and some people won't, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to accept that. And if some people don't love it, whatever, who cares? Because if you love it and you had fun making it and nobody else loves it ever, at least you had fun making something and doing something that you wanted to do, instead of taking half measures and trying to please everybody and trying to create this scientifically perfect video to put out there that pleases every single critic. Don't listen to your critics. Certainly hear them. Don't let them dictate what you do, because you are the person who's actually doing it. They are merely hemming and hawing and saying what they would have done different, and saying how they would have done better, and saying what you should have done, and they didn't do it. You did. And if you love what you did and you had a good time, well then who cares, man? Because that's really what it's all about. And the minute I stop having fun making videos, I will no longer make videos. I won't even shed a tear for it. Because if it's not fun, why would I miss it? And that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. Again, this was no shade, no nothing about Throttle Blip. I'd love to do a live stream with him or something, and we can talk about this at length. I'll talk to anybody, you know. You got to understand something about me. I got a lot of opinions. I use my hands when I talk. I'm loud. I like to use big words. Say things. So sometimes people might mistake that as me being like, I hate this. I don't. I'm just dramatic. I'm just an incredibly dramatic person. I can't stop myself. Anyway, Throttle Blip is great. I'll have his video and his channel linked down below. Make sure you go subscribe to him and tell him old Shadetree Surgeon sent you. And you know what? Go show my man 9 Mils on 2 Wheels, Matt, a little bit of love too. He's been fighting an incredible battle, and he's a really great guy. Just one of the best dudes out. And until we get some more videos of this very unexpected cross-country trip on twin 40-year-old motorcycles that are being raffled off with 100% of the proceeds going to charity. Forgotten Angels, I'll have that link down below before as well. They're going to get, we got a lot. We got a long way to go, a short time to get there, and we're on 2 very incapable motorcycles piloted by, with twin motorcycles, twin idiots. You know, me and Shay just share the one brain cell, and we actually forgot to pack it, so we're running on empty. Make sure you follow us on Instagram to keep updated, and those videos will be coming out soon. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.